Life in the Garden of Eden. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. In the midst of that perfect creation, He designed a splendid garden called Eden, a place of unimaginable beauty, full of peace, harmony, and life. There, the soil was fertile, the trees offered abundant fruit, and the animals lived together in total harmony. Everything that breathed and grew reflected the goodness and love of the Creator. In this paradise, God formed man from the dust of the earth and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. Thus, Adam, the first man, was made in the image and likeness of God. There was no sickness, fatigue, or pain. Everything in Eden was pure, perfect, and good. Adam had access to all creation and a close relationship with God, who walked through the garden in the cool of the day, speaking with him like a friend. God planted two special trees in the center of Eden, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Although Adam had the freedom to eat from all the trees in the garden, God gave him a clear command. He was not to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. On the day you eat from it, you will surely die, the Creator warned him. Adam accepted this command and continued his life in Eden, enjoying everything that God had provided. However, while Adam worked and tended the garden, God observed that something was missing. "It is not good for the man to be alone," said the Lord. So, in his infinite wisdom and love, He decided to give Adam a companion. He caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep and, from his side, took one of his ribs. From that rib, God formed a woman. When Adam awoke and saw her, he exclaimed with joy, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man." Thus Eve came to life, and together Adam and Eve became the first human beings. Life in the Garden of Eden was a reflection of God's perfection and goodness. Adam and Eve's days passed in complete communion with their Creator. There was no unfulfilled need, and the natural world responded to their care. Every sunrise brought with it the promise of a day full of wonders. The clear waters of the rivers flowed gently, the birds sang sweet melodies from the branches of the trees, and the animals of the land and sky approached without fear, for there was no violence or danger. Adam and Eve enjoyed their work in the garden, a labor that was neither heavy nor exhausting, but rather an expression of gratitude and cooperation with God to care for and preserve creation. The Garden of Eden was a place where peace and harmony reigned, both between them and with everything around them. It was a place where life was experienced in its fullness, without the burden of death or corruption. Beyond the physical beauty of Eden, the most precious thing for Adam and Eve was their relationship with God. In the cool of the evening, God would walk with them, and in those moments they shared intimate, direct communion with Him. There was no separation, fear, or shame in their relationship with the Creator. They lived in the purity of obedience, fully trusting in God's goodness and plans. Yet, despite all that had been given to them, there was a limit. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil remained in the center of the garden as a reminder of the obedience expected of them. This tree represented the freedom they had to choose to follow God's commands or to disobey. Life in the Garden of Eden was free of evil, but it also gave them the ability to make decisions, to exercise their free will. Adam and Eve lived in a state of innocence, without knowledge of evil. There was no sense of shame or guilt in them. They were naked, but they did not perceive it as shameful, for their minds and hearts were in perfect alignment with God's will. Their thoughts were pure, their intentions were righteous, and their actions were filled with love and devotion. The Garden of Eden was, in essence, a place where humanity lived out the original purpose of their creation, to enjoy God's presence, to care for creation, and to live in perfect harmony with each other and with nature. The Creator had designed everything for the well-being of Adam and Eve, and in turn, they responded with gratitude and faithfulness. Thus, the days passed in Eden with the promise of an eternal and abundant life as long as they remained faithful to God's command. Eden represented God's perfect design for humanity, a place where life, peace, and love flourished in all their splendor.